Hello, welcome to Thor Talk, the show all about Marvel's resident god of thunder, where I discuss Thor feats, battles, story arcs, villains, and more. On this episode of Thor Talk, I do a complete summary on the Marvel Generations The Thunder, where Jane Foster, wielding Mjölnir, meets young Thor before he proved himself worthy to lift Mjölnir. Plus, Thor hits harder than a nuke. This is Thor Talk.
I am Thor the Thunderer, son of Odin, prince of Asgard. I am an Avenger, and this world is under my protection.
Whosoever holds this hammer, if he be worthy, shall possess the power of Thor.
Marvel Generations The Thunder was written by Jason Aaron in August of 2017. The story begins with young Thor in Viking times trying to lift Mjölnir. Thor has not yet proven himself worthy to wield Mjölnir and is only able to lift it a little bit off the ground. Odin then tells Thor to put on his formal wear and come to the throne room to meet a delegation from Vanaheim. Thor complies, but finds himself incredibly bored. But while in the throne room, Thor hears the prayers of Vikings in ancient Egypt, and he immediately goes to them. The Vikings have prayed to Thor because they find themselves up against Apocalypse, the first mutant and ruler of Egypt. Thor arrives with his axe Jarnbjorn, but as he prepares to fight Apocalypse, lightning strikes between them as Jane Foster appears holding Mjölnir. She apparently has been sent back in time, but she doesn't know how or why. Thor confronts her and demands to know why she is holding his birthright. But then Apocalypse challenges them, and they both work together to attack Apocalypse. As she fights, Jane reflects how often she has thought about holding on to Mjölnir forever, to never turn back into Jane Foster, and remain a goddess till the end of time. How she has often wanted to let go of her humanity. As they continue to fight, the Vikings start to lose hope, saying that Apocalypse, the blue god of the Egyptians, is too powerful. Seeing this, Thor tells the Vikings that unlike Apocalypse, Thor will carry those that fall in battle to Valhalla. Thor will present their souls to Odin, detailing their great deeds. Thor will comfort their grieving wives, and Thor will drink with them in Valhalla. Then, he asks them which god they choose to die for this day. They scream Thor as they charge with him into battle. As they attack Apocalypse, Jane is thrown aside, where she is mockingly greeted by Loki. Loki reveals that he tricked the Vikings into coming to Egypt so that Thor would fight Apocalypse. Jane knocks Loki aside, and he disappears. She then joins Thor, and with their unbridled might and fury, they win the battle. With Apocalypse defeated, the Vikings sail home with the nose of the Sphinx taken by Thor as a trophy. Jane realizes what makes Thor worthy is not his godhood, but his humanity. She then disappears, leaving Thor to assume that she is a witch. Thor commands the Vikings to return to their village so that Thor can comfort the wives of the fallen warriors as he promised. A Viking then informs him that those who fell in battle had no wives. Then, I will comfort the wives of the ugly men. Later in Asgard, Thor is able to move Mjölnir even more off the ground, and Odin speaks to the Phoenix Force. He recalls how he and the Phoenix were lovers once, but that is to be fully revealed in Marvel Legacy #1 by Jason Aaron. To begin, this issue made a surprising revelation that Thor not only created the Great Sphinx of Egypt, but he also took its nose later on. If you want to see how Thor made the Sphinx, hit the link below to watch the episode where Thor goes back in time to ancient Egypt. So, from a slightly biased perspective, I'd say this is the best Generations comic yet. Unlike the Wolverine issue, neither hero felt more valued than the other. And unlike the Phoenix and Hulk issues, both heroes actually learned something at the end. This also actually tied in to Marvel Legacy. We also learned that Thor's original costume is his formal wear. or at least formal by Asgardian standards.
So is this how you normally look?
More or less.
It's a good look.
So, a nuclear bomb weighing a little more than 2,400 pounds is able to release energy that is more than 1.2 million tons of TNT. Now, currently, there isn't a way to survive a head-on explosion of a nuclear bomb unless you're a supervillain. In Avengers number 12.1, the Avengers have arrived, but MODOK says that he is prepared, as he has a force field that can withstand a nuclear... He never gets to finish his sentence, as Thor breaks through the force field and knocks him out with one blow. Well, that's all for this episode of Thor Talk. If you want to keep up with Thor Talk and all Thor-related news, follow Thor Talk on Instagram at Thor Talk. You can also keep up with and support Thor Talk by simply subscribing. Once again, I'd like to formally state that all art and video is owned by its respective companies, and I own none of it. With that said, see you next time on Thor Talk, where...
You'll be holding breathless wonder.